Good evening, health advocates. Tonight I thought I'd sort of talk to you about what's ahead of us. And what's ahead of us? It's hot, guys. Who thought in winter would be this hot? I'm hot in my jumper. Okay, what's ahead of us is spring. 1st of September, I love it. The temperature normally picks up, but guess what? Allergies are abundant. Okay, let's talk about some clear strategies and one of the most important vitamins you can start thinking about taking to give yourself more resilience for those allergies ahead. So if you've got allergies, stay tuned. Okay, what's that vitamin? It's called pyridoxine or B6. And the active form of B6 is called pyridoxal 5-phosphate. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what B6 does in your body, what symptoms you might go looking for if you're low in it, how to test it, and then a good management support plan for you to do it. Okay, what is pyridoxine? Pyridoxine is it's involved in about 100 different chemical reactions in our body. It is so important. You cannot store it, so you need to make sure you've got an adequate supply every day of B6. And you've got a really healthy liver to convert that B6 to a pyridoxal 5-phosphate, which is the active form. Okay, so first of all, let's look at that. Are we getting enough from our diet? Green leafy veggies, absolutely, is probably the most abundant form of B6. However, guess what? You cook them and most of the B6 goes. Therefore, you've got to offer raw is often better and a better quality source of it. Okay, so what does my B6 do? The first thing B6 think of when I've got B6 in my body, it supports neurotransmitters. A good level of serotonin, so I'm less anxious and less depressed. A good level of melatonin, so I sleep better. A good level of GABA, so I'm less anxious. And of course, lowers my adrenaline, so I don't walk around the whole time tired and wide. So that's a patient type I want to think of, the transmitters. What about, it breaks down histamine. Okay, it's very important for making an enzyme called DAO. So this is one of the products I love. When I see people with high histamine, they're the seasonal allergies I'm kicking into, they're often very deficient in B6. Now, I'm not saying you're not getting it from your diet, but you just may not be converting it or enough. So when I see clients with a really high level of histamine, they're very prone to be set off quickly by food intolerances, chemical intolerances, mold, yeast, candida. Okay, these are all things that if you bring in the B6, you can lower those high blood histamine dose. And absolutely, we can test your blood histamine to see how high it is. So that's one, enzymes to lower histamine. Okay, what else is it important for? Absolutely. What are some symptoms I'd go around thinking, is my B6 low? Okay, do you suffer from itchy skin uncontrollably? Uncontrollable hay fever or high histamine where you're sneezing in a room from a fragrance, or from seasonal allergies? Are you someone who goes camping and you get eaten by mosquitoes and your person beside you doesn't? Check your B6, it's most probably low. Are you a woman who suffers from recurring candida infections? Absolutely, B6 will always go low because candida feeds on B6, so you obviously need absolute more. Okay, are you someone recuperating from a virus? What about someone who's had mono or glandular? These are chronic debilitating viruses. Absolutely, you need B6. Okay, so we always need it. You don't store it and you've got to remember it and you've got to absorb it. So how are we going to give it? The dose of B6 is really varied. It could be something as little as a 5 milligram or up to 250 milligram. And that would depend on what we're treating. So if we're treating sort of anxiety or irritability or poor sleep, absolutely, and you've got poor methylation, we might use higher doses. If it's a general supplement, we'd often start at 50 milligrams. Okay, B6 can be given also an injection. Why would I give a B6 an injection? Because often people have poor tummy function. So if you're recovering from a SIBO or a Helicobacter infection or a Giardia or a virus or something like that, it's sometimes hard to get it orally. You could also do it transdermally. We have a lot of children who have transdermal B6 with zinc. These are anxious kids and it works like a treat. It calms them. It's a good way in it. You rub it on their soles of their feet. It is bright yellow, so I'll give you a tip there. Okay, what's the other thing I always put with is a zinc. So if you're someone who's coming into this and you think, wow, I think my B6 might be a bit low because I've had chronic candida infections or I've had a virus that I really need to get on top of, you must think your zinc because we need to boost your immune system. So obviously a product would have B6, an active B6, some for now, some for later, and certainly some zinc added in. And that would be in a general, what we call a primer-pyrrole combination with those goodies. Okay, what else have I got to do? Well, if I'm going to stay on oral B6, I've got to think of my gut. My gut and liver have to be really good so I can absorb the most of it. Because, remember I said your liver's got to convert the B6 to an active form. So we're going to do a gut liver repair powder. I do love it. You take it 3 times a day, dissolve it in water. It's rich in glutamine. It's rich in vitamin C. It's rich in magnesium to help these chemical reactions speed up. So gut liver repair powder is important. Okay, I'll leave you with a bit of a caveat. What about you're that person who goes to Chinese restaurants and go, oh, damn it, they've got MSG in that food because your lips swell or you get hives or you get puffy eyes or your tummy, you feel unwell. Girls, you're low on B6. That's you. I want you to go check it. come get a blood test or ask us about the best supplement for you. I hope you have a great night, and I look forward to speaking to you next week. Ciao.